Hey, it's Mike from Rosehill Sourdough, and you are here because you just purchased a RHSD, or Rosehill Sourdough, proofing basket. I'm super stoked that you have one of these. I absolutely love them. They're made from wood pulp, very sustainable, and they're so much better than those rattan cane baskets that you see. And you're gonna see really soon exactly why that is when you start using them in your baking. Before we start though, right out of the box, there are a few steps that you need to do to just season your basket so it's ready to go. Very first thing you're going to do, set your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. As soon as it preheats, turn it off and make sure that it's off. You never want to put a basket inside of an oven that's on. They're made from wood pulp and we don't want to mix too much heat with that wood pulp. Put the oven off, put the basket in and let it bake in the hot oven for 20 minutes. All this is going to do is make sure that it's completely dried out and ready to use for the first time. I like to do this every so often. If I've been using the basket for a while, I'll throw it in the hot oven after baking just to dry it out and clean it. That's the only cleaning that you're ever going to have to do with these things. Never touch them with water. If they get built up flour on them, just use a scrub brush and scrub it off, but never with water. If it ever gets dough on it, you're gonna do the exact same procedure. Preheat your oven, turn it off, put it in, and let that dough dry out, and it'll just flick right off the surface of the bowl, all right? So you've just preheated your oven to 350, it's turned off, you've put your basket in, you've let it bake for 20 minutes with the oven off, you take it out and you put it on a cooling rack and you let it cool completely. Once it's cooled completely, we're gonna season it with our second step, which is adding a liberal amount of flour. So I'm gonna grab a few pinches of flour. And when I say a few pinches, when I say a liberal amount, I mean a liberal amount. You can see that in my hand there, okay? And I'm going to put this in the basket and I'm gonna do that a couple more times, okay? Good, decent amount of flour. Just all the way around the basket, 3 times. Cool. Once it looks like that and it's fully covered, then I'm gonna take my hand and I'm actually gonna get in and I'm gonna rub down the entire basket. Now you only really need to do this the first time, and then any other time that you remove any caked on flour with a brush, you're gonna wanna repeat this process, but that's really not that often, just the first time, and then if you feel like it's getting a buildup on it, you can just brush it off. These wood pulp baskets will last a lifetime if you take care of them properly, and really all that is just making sure that they're completely dry before storing them. That's it. The wood pulp baskets are great at absorbing moisture from your loaf. That means you're gonna get a lot more crispier bread because all that moisture is going to get absorbed from your outer skin of your loaf into the basket. And then when you bake it, it's gonna give you a really nice, thin, crispy crunch on that crust. Cool. If you've got any excess flour in there after rubbing it down, it's no big deal, just toss that in your bench. And that's kind of what you want your bread basket to look like, your proofing basket. Just nice and liberally coated with flour. Now, every time that you bake, you're gonna wanna do a similar process. You're gonna wanna toss some flour in there, rub it down, it just won't be as much. And then I also like to, after it's rubbed down, say I've got my loaf that I've been using, loaf that I've been making, and it's just done its bench rest and it's ready to go in the proofing basket. What I'll do is I'll take another little pinch of flour and I'll just lightly coat, maybe 2, lightly coat the inside with flour. And then when I shape my loaf, I'm also going to lightly coat the top of the loaf with flour before I put it into my proofing basket. And then once it's in there, it's good to go. When you take it out of your basket, there's really nothing you need to do, just let it completely dry out. From time to time, like I said, I like to put it in a hot oven with the oven off, just to make sure it's completely dried out. And that's it. That is how you season your basket. This thing is ready to go now. If you're looking for a great recipe to use in your first time in your basket, I really like the RHSD 3 recipe. Super easy to follow, really easy to use. You can find that in my baking book, Baking with Rosehill Sourdough. You can also find it on my website, rosehillsourdough.com. I hope you get a chance to use these really soon. Once you do, please leave me a 5-star review at rosehillsourdough.com for these proofing baskets. You're gonna fall in love with them just like I did. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram and I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye.